What's up, guys? It is WillFoxification here, back again for another episode of Lights, Camera, Collect with my amazing co-host for the evening, Dean the Dream / the Lady Pleaser, Jabba the Hutt. So,
Wow.
that's you, Dean. Probably the best intro you've ever gotten, man. Dude,
I know.
thanks so much for joining. You're my actual brother, adopted, so half brother, step brother. But dude, first time on the show. How you doing tonight, man?
Doing pretty good, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. You like the multiversal background you see behind you?
Dude, it's definitely fitting the vibe. We were talking about the movie backstage, and we have some thoughts.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be fun.
Spoiler free.
Spoiler free. Spoiler free. We're not going to spoil anyone in the Multiverse of Madness. We're going to talk about it, but spoiler free. You know, we'll probably do spoilers on Sunday, that's what I think, for the Collector's Mingle show, which, Dean, if you want to come on, man, let me know. So
I might be free. I'm not sure. It is Mother's Day.
It is Mother's Day. So
Yeah.
all the mothers out there and all that kind of stuff, you know, we're thinking of you. But it'll be 8 p.m. Eastern, so you might be busy. If so, no worries. We'll make it work, Dean, either way. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, everybody. We're going to get into some cool topics here. But before we do that, let's address the chat real quick. Ninja Squirrel, Hot Toy's got Spider-Man figures down. Miles looks dope. Yeah, he does. We're going to talk about that too. I'm sorry, Doctor Strange. It sucks, but on the bright side, Hot Toys will have some figures. Hey, we're going to talk about this single songwriter. We're going to see. Two Coffee said, what's up, gentlemen? Josh McCoy in the house. Doctor Strange was incredible IMO, and I love the horror aspect. I sense polarization, Dean. There's going to be a lot of polarizing thoughts here.
Yeah, because even you and I weren't exactly
aligned. It's going to be fun. Maniac UK evening all. Happy Friday. Days all. What is up? Uncommon Flex. Hello, good people. AJ Agarusa. Let's see, AJ. Let me pull up a comment. Happy Friday, friends. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Sure are, man. Xiao. Hello, how everyone is going. How everyone is this evening. Good, man. Good to have you here. Punisher XS. Hi, everyone. Ebu127. Really looking forward to tonight's topics. Hope everyone is enjoying their Friday. Thanks so much, Ebu. Appreciate you as always. Let's see. Figureastic Park. Hello, everyone. Uncommon Flex. Always blaming me, bro. Always.
Every chat, bro.
He blames me every time, Dean. Strange was amazing. Feige's a damn genius. So much when it comes to the next few years. Get the casting right. X-Men will be huge. Yeah, could be. Mike said, hey, everyone, want to check in. I'm terrified of spoilers. Have a great stream. WillFoxification. No spoilers here, Mike, so feel free to stay, but if you're not comfortable, that's fine too. Riley in the house. Riley reviews. Yo. Tyria, what's up, guys? How's it going? That Final Fantasy piece is a dopo. Dean, did you see that Tifa that they showed? That statue?
I've seen a lot of them, and they're all
you don't want to see this one. I'm not going to show it on the show because it's the most perverted shit I've ever seen in my life, dude.
Well, you can private chat it to me.
Yeah, I'll private chat it to you. Like, I had like 3 or 4 different people send it to me because they know that you and I love Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
and I was
I really want a Tifa statue, but they're all so horny, bro.
Yeah, Game Toys is going to make a figure that's
This 2B that I have is like just the right amount of sexy. And even then, I could take the skirt piece off, which is game accurate. She has like a little suit on underneath. But the Tifa statues, bro.
Yeah, it's really bad.
They're usually like high kicks, and you're like, oh, that kind of makes sense. And then it's like, yeah, but you could take her panties off. Like, what the fuck?
It's the ultimate accessory. Yeah, it's really bad. It's the worst side of collecting. Pedro Lopez, hello. Gilbert Amazon, yo, what's up, y'all? Ben again, hey, everyone. Chase Strickland, what is up? All right, guys. So with no delay here, we're going to jump right into our review of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. No spoilers. This will be a spoiler-free chat. Dean and I are going to be very respectful of everyone here. So we're going to bring up just an image real quick, just to kind of set the mood. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Dean, let me start by saying this. My girlfriend and I went last night to see Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, right? Okay. So we went. She had never seen a Marvel film before, so this was an interesting experience for her, right? Wow, she had never seen one. So she was like, yeah, I want to go. You want to go? Let's go, right? So I was like, all right, I'm really excited.
Any homework or like just
what'd you say?
Turkey? Did you give her any homework to like?
Nah, I should have given her like a pop quiz. Yeah, I should have given her a pop quiz, but I didn't. I'll give her one maybe later. I'll give her a pop quiz when she's not, I'll be like, hey, you remember what happened in the multiverse with this? And, but I've showed her, like, told her some things too. And she's just like, don't tell me. So I told her about Loki's death accidentally. So, but she was like, she knows about Loki.
That's not a spoiler for this movie, by the way.
Yeah. But no spoilers for this movie. But Dean, what I want to say is this. I went into this film with really high expectations. I left a little disappointed. Not that I hate the film. I don't think it's terrible. But I do think it's probably one of the worst Marvel films I've seen. Like, I think it's not Eternals. It's not Eternals. Nothing's that bad.
Bro, okay. Did you hate Eternals?
Yeah, I hated Eternals. I hate
Eternals. Man.
There's not much I like in that film. Yeah, it's I don't like much about that film.
Wow.
So
okay.
I did not like Eternals. This one, Dean, kind of my overall thoughts. This film is carried by Wanda, no doubt about it. You know, I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone, but I will say Wanda has a prominent role in this film. She's fantastic. She shows a lot of emotional depth and character arc. But Doctor Strange, like I was telling you, Dean, one of the biggest complaints I had was that I don't feel like he has an arc here. I don't feel like he's, you know, maybe it's just not that type of film. It's like an Avengers type of film where not everyone has an arc, so to speak, but he is the main character. And I feel like his development is very minimal here. He's the same character he is at the beginning as he is at the end.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nothing changes. So, and that's kind of, you know, maybe why I'm a little disappointed with it. And also just the fact that I do tend to feel that it's a little style over substance. I feel like it's like a lot of amazing visuals and really weird shit and like all this crazy stuff going on, but there's not much like story there. Like it's just kind of like there's one thing that's going on and they're trying to, you know, get around this person and get this person to safety and this and that, right? And that's really the plot. That's about as complex as it is. And I guess maybe just I felt like I wanted more from the film. Like it almost feels more like it's there to like set up the rest of the MCU than it is to be like an actual story for Doctor Strange.
That's
like,
fair.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we're going to use this to create the multiverse and expand on the multiverse stuff like Loki did. But Loki, I feel like it's a 6-episode show, but Loki had like an arc in that show. Like I felt like, sure, yeah, like Loki and Sylvie both had.
Bro, you got 6 episodes, you better have an arc.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I feel like that set up the multiverse stuff and did it great. And then this kind of expanded on it, but it's just more so like just multiversal things happening, but not really much like happening. It's like there's a lot of like fan service and a lot of cool things that you see, but there's not much like enough to hook you emotionally. So overall, though, I liked it. The visuals are crazy. I think there's some really good fight scenes. I think the acting is fantastic, especially from Wanda. Elizabeth Olsen kills it. This is the best. She's been amazing in every film. This is the best she's been, I think. She's incredible. I cannot wait to see more of her in anything. So she's incredible, and Benedict Cumberbatch is good too. The humor, Dean,
watch her paint walls.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what I mean?
The humor I didn't love either, Dean, as much, but I do overall think I'd give this like a 7. I do think it has a lot of good characteristics, like the visuals and things like that. But I would put this on the level of like Iron Man 2. That's where I'd consider it, or like Thor: The Dark World. That's where I'd put this. So like I'd put it in the bottom tier of Marvel films. So, but I think it's going to be very polarizing. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Dean? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I've heard both people either really like it or they really hate it.
Yeah.
I will say, you putting it at a 7 and bottom tier Marvel movie, that just shows how good these movies are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at like a 7 or an 8 as well, but I would put it kind of like in the middle of the list. I don't think it's as good as like Civil War or Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I don't even know if it's better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but
no, I don't think so.
It's definitely a good movie. I don't think it's worse than Dark World. Dark World is so forgettable.
But I love Loki, you know this, so you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it was, bro, the horror aspect is for real.
Yeah.
The fact that this isn't rated R is kind of amazing. They get away with a lot in this movie. I was shocked, like legitimately, like mouth open watching this movie. Like, what did they just do?
Yeah.
The kind of driving force of this movie is America Chavez, and she's not very interesting.
She's not.
She's a very one-dimensional character. I think what you said is important to remember, that this movie is a stepping stone for the next phase. So I could forgive a lot of stuff if it plays off later, right? Like maybe we just needed to introduce America Chavez and she'll play a better role. I didn't mind, like, she wasn't annoying on screen or like, oh, why is this chick even here? It was like, okay, like I kind of wanted her to do more, you know? But but like again, she's fine, not offensive. Like I wasn't like
no, she's not terrible.
I wasn't bothered by the fact that she was there. Just kind of, she's just there. Wong is amazing. Doctor Strange.
This is the best Wong man, I think, and he's great.
Yeah. Doctor Strange is really cool in this movie. I do agree. There's no character growth, but you and I were discussing it before the show, and I was like, he's not like a Peter Parker where he's a kid and every movie he's learning a new lesson. Doctor Strange is an old man. He's been around the block. He's kind of set in his ways. I don't really expect a huge character arc from him. I thought that the arc that they gave him was, you're exactly right. He finishes the movie where he starts, and it kind of feels like he should have, and I'll talk to you about this later. Yeah. It kind of feels like he definitely should have like learned a lesson, but it was interesting. I'm trying to think. All the good Easter eggs and fan service is good. And
it's really good.
It feels substantial too. It's not just like, oh hey, the Millennium Falcon's in this movie. Like you get a glimpse of it in episode 3. It's like, no, this is like episode 7 when they actually use the Millennium Falcon for the movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's not just an Easter egg to. Like it's not just passing by. It actually holds substance. So I thought I liked that it wasn't just fan service for the sake of being fan service. It was like important fan service.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, really love the horror aspect.
I do too.
Legitimately, dude, there's a scene, well, I don't want to say too much. But legitimately scared, like I jumped out of my seat. I was like, "Oh fuck!" Yeah, it was cool. It definitely, it still feels like a Marvel movie, but it's different, very different than what we're used to. I think maybe that's why people are like, "I don't really like it." It's like because it's so different.
It is different, but I think I'm okay with different, Dean. I think like. And, some of the comments I'm seeing, and that's kind of my point. Like, I think this is going to be a very polarizing film. I do. I think there's going to be a lot of, not Last Jedi level. I don't think it's that controversial.
No.
Like, I don't think it's that controversial where it's like Last Jedi or, what else has come out recently that's been really polarizing? Like, that's the best example for sure. Last Jedi is like the polarizing example film where you have half the people who love it and half the people who hate it. Last of Us 2 is another example. Right?
Oh yeah.
Last of Us 2 is another example where you have half the people who despise it and then half the people who are like think it's a masterpiece, right?
Right.
So that's kind of, I don't think this is quite that to that degree. I think this is going to be a film that most people will enjoy. Like I did enjoy it, but I do feel like I expected a little bit more. So, and I just, with Marvel films, I think we're at the point where we're expecting a lot from them. And whether that's fair or unfair, it's hard to say. But, I guess when I see films like Shang-Chi, Dean, I remember, I know that's not a sequel, but like, I guess I can remember like how powerful Marvel storytelling can be and exciting it can be. But for Wanda, and I won't spoil anything, for Wanda, this is a powerful story for her.
Bro.
This is very
honestly. It shouldn't even be called Doctor Strange.
It should be just called Wanda Strange. Dude, this should have been Wanda's movie. Really, I probably would have liked it more. But more time with her would have been great.
Man, her story coming out of her show WandaVision, which is like kind of
Yeah, you're frozen there. I can hear you, but you look like you got a serious face on. Oh, Dean dropped out. Dean,
okay, I'm back.
Oh, he's back. Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Solo show for a second.
Yeah. So my StreamYard does that for I don't know why.
Oh, really?
But anyway, WandaVision is kind of lighthearted. Even when it gets heavy, it's not super heavy, So for this movie, it's heavy, bro. On the Wanda side of the movie, it's fucking, it's so good. I think you're right. I think if it was just like a Wanda movie, this would have been insanely good.
Yeah. And there's so much I want to say, Dean, that because I feel like they've done that with other Marvel films where they've taken that would have been an interesting angle to approach it, to make her the main character of this. Yeah. I think that would have been cool, but I don't want to spoil anything, but for sure, man, I think she was fantastic, and Wong's pretty good in this film in the time he does get. I really like Wong. Benedict Cumberbatch is good. He's not bad. America Chavez, I really like the actress, and I think there's potential there, but her character is, like you said, very bland, very one note. There's nothing really to her until the end when you find out a little bit about her, and you're like, she feels like something you've seen a lot before. I that's kind of, maybe she doesn't feel that unique. So at least
no, you're right. Yeah, 100%.
Like even Kate Bishop, I felt like she felt pretty unique and kind of quirky and cool and funny, and I liked her. But in America Chavez, I like her. I think there's potential there, but I think in this film it's unexplored potential.
Yeah.
I think and I get it's a setup, but I do understand, just to address some of the ideas out there. I hear this kind of thrown out around a lot, Dean. I think there's always, and this, we'll see how I am with The Last of Us show, right? I think there's always the idea thrown around about source material purists, so to speak, right? Purism. Where if you haven't read the comics, whatever, you don't understand what they were going for. I always disagree with the sentiment, no matter how it's expressed, because the content should stand on its own, really. If you're adapting something, it shouldn't be a prerequisite to read the book or to play the game or whatever. Sometimes that does happen and it works for the diehards, but if you want to appeal to a major audience like Marvel's doing, then, I think more so my idea is every film, it fits into the larger MCU, but at the same time, it should still feel like its own thing too. Even Infinity War, it fits into larger MCU clearly, but it also feels like a very contained story. I think you could watch Infinity War and never have watched a Marvel film and still really enjoy it. I think that's what I think it does. And I think Doctor Strange does that, but I don't feel like it really does enough to progress anyone but Wanda in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's my thing with it. And I get on all sides of it. I just feel like that argument is thrown around sort of as a crutch sometimes, where it's you don't understand it because you didn't read the comics. I think that's a crutch for defending a movie that's subpar. That's, in my opinion, that's just how I view it. But, everyone's different. If you read the comics, it's good to have that background. But, I for Last of Us show, for example, I'm going to recognize that as its own thing. Sometimes I'll compare, the game has this, the show has that, but I'm not going to be like, oh, you haven't played the game, you don't get it. That's not really fair to people. So
that's true, because I keep doing that to you about Final Fantasy VII.
No, it's fine, dude. I know a lot about Final Fantasy VII, the original, because my brother played it, and I used to watch him play it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I never played it myself, but I played the remake, which is very different, I know. But Dean, you're like a 7 or 8 on this, right? The 7.5, 8 on this?
Yeah, I'll put it at an 8.
Okay, it's so much I want to go into with spoilers, so we'll do it Sunday if you're around. But
yeah,
it's still a good film. I don't hate it, but I wanted a little bit more from it.
Yeah,
Dean, that's why I want to ask you this: expectations. What do they do to how we judge a film? Because maybe I went in. I really don't think, honestly, I went in expecting XYZ to happen. I wasn't had all these fan theories. I'm sure other people did, but I didn't. It was more so I wanted to, I was expecting something grand, and I think you do get that. I think you do get a grand kind of big scale on it, Dean. But I also think that, it's, I don't know, just with the story itself, I felt kind of let down. But how do you feel expectations affect that? Do you feel like you go in with preconceived notions about a film and it affects how you critique it?
100%.
Yeah.
So perfect example, Eternals.
Yeah.
I didn't bother watching that movie in theaters because everybody dogged on it. I mean, everybody dogged on it.
Right.
And the other day I was sitting at home bored out of my mind, and I was like, hey, I got Disney Plus. Eternals is on there. Fuck it, I'll just watch it. I had so much fun watching that movie. I don't think it's winning any awards by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely not top tier Marvel movies, but I enjoyed my time watching the movie. I don't feel like I was cheated out of money like I was with the Captain Marvel movie. That movie's just so bad. And honestly, I don't know if the movie is that bad, but it came so late. So I was like, why are we getting this now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think those are two good examples that the Captain Marvel came way too late. Like they had already introduced the character. So it's like, do I need her backstory? She's already around. That like the hype, it was too hyped and I didn't enjoy it. And then for Eternals, I wasn't hyped at all and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I think expectations can definitely affect how you watch a movie. Right? It's almost like when you really want to buy something and you think about it all the time and then you finally buy it and you're like, oh, now what?
Right,
like, yeah, this is cool. Like,
what do I get
cool.
now?
Right. Like, it's like that. It's like, oh, I can't wait to go see this movie. It's going to be so good. Like, all my friends were talking about it. We're sharing theories. We're sharing, news. And then you go see the movie and you're like, this is the movie?
Right.
This is it? I think it's kind of like that. So if you could manage your expectations, I feel like you can enjoy stuff a little more. Like, I'm so guilty with that, with like Star Wars,
Yeah.
Like the Boba Fett show, I was too hyped, bro. I was way too fucking
I was hyped to that show too, yeah.
Because I mean, not that I wasn't hyped for Mando, but I didn't have expectations because I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
It was new unexplored territory, right? A Star Wars TV show? What?
Yeah.
Not that Clone Wars isn't a TV show, but it's just characters I don't know, parts I've never been to, So when the Book of Boba Fett was coming out, I was like, bro, the Mando, that show rocks. He's in that show. This is gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I was severely let down. And it's not like it's a bad show. It's totally watchable and it's good in its own way. But I mean, week to week, I was like getting angry,
Book of Boba, I'm with you, Dean. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't feel satisfied with it.
Yeah, I've gone back and watched Mando seasons 1 and 2. Like, I definitely have my favorite episodes.
Yep.
Could not name you a single favorite episode of Book of Boba.
No. Unfortunately, it didn't come together cohesively. But I am with you, Dean. Like, and remember when I just mentioned the two most polarizing pieces of storytelling probably in the last couple years are probably Last of Us 2 and The Last Jedi. Right. Yeah. And I think a big reason for those two being that way is expectations. Like, I think because they're sequels.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Because The Last of Us Part 2, which I won't spoil for people, but The Last of Us Part 2 is extremely polar opposite to The Last of Us 1 in almost every way.
Yeah, just like Last of Us was good and this one's fucking
exactly. This one's terrible. Yeah. But and same with Last Jedi, because even though Force Awakens was, now kind of being a little bit more shat on, it was very well received at the time.
Oh, yeah.
When Force Awakens came out, it made a boatload of money. Everyone loved it. They thought it was, similar to A New Hope, but still really good, right? Still really good. And then at that point, after Last Jedi came out, then everything changed. Because it took all those expectations and the hype from The Force Awakens, threw it all, flushed it down the toilet, and said, we're not going to do any of it. We're going to do the opposite. And that's part of what pissed people off, besides some of the poor storytelling choices. But it also because you had so much expectation going in for, to continue the story, and it didn't really. Like, it kind of like took a major deviation. So, and that's why I think expectations can sometimes do that, good or bad. With Doctor Strange, I only really had one expectation, to see some wild shit, and which I got, but I didn't expect to see anything too crazy besides that. I did expect like more of an arc for Strange, but that's more just like what I expect from a film, like a Marvel film like this. Like, I feel like it has to be like, there has to be a reason the film exists, and the reason to me the film kind of exists is to progress Wanda, to introduce America Chavez for more films, and to set up the multiverse for more films. So, that's what I think. But, that's kind of why I take slight issue with it. It doesn't feel like it's there to do something for the character. But I don't know. But I do think expectations matter, Dean. They influence
100%.
Going in. So sometimes it's hard not to have them,
Oh, 100%. I mean, I went in with this movie with pretty high expectations. I mean, I thought we were going to see some really crazy shit. You're talking about multiverse, right? Anything's possible. And we saw some cool stuff. Don't get me wrong, but not what I had in my head. But then the stuff that we did see, you and I compared it to a TV show. I don't know if you want to, like, if that's spoilery.
Yeah.
But the shit you see, I was not expecting at all. So
yeah,
kudos there. I mean, shocking, I would say.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, we were in the theater, my girlfriend and I. She was just like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah, this is getting real wild for a Marvel film.
Yeah, I'm shocked it's PG-13.
Yeah.
It's so, like, the really good moments are so good.
Yeah, they are.
And then there's a lot of like, can we get on with it? Like,
right.
Yeah, expectations definitely matter.
Yeah.
You are 100% right.
I think so too, Dean. So with that said, we got to jump into some news. That is.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're gonna talk about Attack of the Clones figures. So Dean, what I want to share here, I pulled up Alter Ego Comics, who I've bought from a bunch of times. A really good place to buy from. So they have a lot of these figures listed here. You know, they obviously, Hot Toys showed that they're going to announce more Attack of the Clones figures over the next couple weeks or so. Hopefully, Mace Windu is definitely coming. Mace Windu is going to come. Yeah, because he was shown in the teaser image, and like,
was he? I missed it.
Yeah, he was shown in the teaser image, like his back and his lightsaber. And Hot Toys said like more Attack of the Clones figures are coming, so just hold tight. So Mace is going to come. I think maybe a Padawan Anakin, and maybe even a Palpatine, and then a droid maybe. But there's going to be more. So that would be very tempting to me. But Dean, is there anything that was announced here that would make you want to jump on it?
Maybe, and only because he's my favorite character, R2.
Ooh, do you not have one?
I have the Hot Toys R2 from The Force Awakens.
That's what I have, yeah.
And it's fine, but it doesn't come with all the cool shit.
Right.
Which I'm probably never going to use. But the fact that I don't have them, it kind of makes me mad, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love R2. But yeah, I mean, the clones, there's cooler clones out there, right? Like a plain clone trooper, a pilot, maybe I could add a pilot. They're not too terribly priced.
No, $235. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good because we're used to what, $285 now?
Yeah, $275, $285. Yeah.
I mean, no head sculpts, but you get 2 helmets, so it's not that bad. So yeah, maybe a clone pilot, but I mean the droids, and it's not even it's that shitty colored droid you only see once on Geonosis. You never see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for more announcements, but
yeah.
I mean, was that 5 figures? That's
not
5. Bad.
And C-3PO being the most controversial one.
The wrong one, yeah.
Yeah, because dude, that was so funny when you said that. By the way, that shit was so funny. But so I'm conflicted on this because the more I look at it, like I feel like I like it more, but it's not the one I would get personally.
Right.
But
yeah,
I
there's
do
nothing
think there's
wrong with it. It looks great, but that's not C-3PO. Like that's not the look, you know?
Right. It's like, dude, I don't know if anyone has ever uttered this sentence before, but I'm going to keep my sideshow one. So
yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, when Hot Toys makes it,
yeah,
I'll
that's
be
different.
Happy to replace it.
Yep.
But this isn't replacing the sideshow one.
No,
now,
I don't think so either. Actually, for most people, because it's not the iconic look for him.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the DLC look. That's kind of what it is. You know what I mean?
Like Player 2.
Yeah, it's like Player 2 C-3PO, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'd rather have it than not have it because I think a lot of people will like it and buy it. But I think we're going to see, this is the time to see whether 330, a diecast C-3PO, is really financially viable.
I did enjoy the fact that it's diecast.
Yeah, I do too. And the R2 is diecast in the head, so that's pretty cool, right? So,
yeah, but all of them were.
Yeah, that's true. The Force Awakens, because I have the Force Awakens, Dean, the R2, but my electronics don't really work. So I thought about maybe upgrading and selling that one and getting the new one, but I don't know. I'll probably just keep what I have. So most of us don't use electronics anyway. So
I never do.
It's kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah. So
yeah.
But I kind of, Dean, I think I am going to get the Battle Droid.
See, I have the Sideshow 2-pack one, and that's good enough for me. Yeah. I literally have them like on the floor with clone troopers stepping on them.
Oh, okay.
That's what I use them for. So like, I don't really need. But I mean, $190 is not a bad price, and I'm sure it's going to be badass.
Yeah, I think so too, man. It's going to be really badass. So I'm going to get one of these for 190. They're just pretty cool, man. They're, they're throwaway characters, so to speak, but they're fun. So, I'm excited to see what else they announce from it. Mace Windu, like I said, I do think is coming. The rest of the stuff, I don't know how I feel about getting them myself, but I do think these troopers are going to be pretty popular. I think the battle droid is going to be popular, especially at that price. And I think R2 is going to be popular just because people are always hungry for an R2. Because there's always new collectors coming in who want one but can't get one because they're so expensive, and now you get another opportunity. So I think R2 is, if you don't have an R2, I would jump on this, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I was really bummed out because I had the Sideshow R2, which is great. If you have that one, honestly, it's pretty good. And I gave it away as a Christmas present, and I bought the Force Awakens one.
Yeah.
It was okay. It does the job. It's great. Don't get me wrong. But then like a few months later, they announced the other one with all this stuff. Right. And I was like, dude, I just bought the whatever. I'm not buying that one out of principle, right? And now they're re-releasing it, and I'm like, well, maybe I should just buy it because it goes for way more than $270 now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Because again, I put my R2 on the shelf and I forget it. I don't really need all this stuff. And do I really want to spend $300 on something I don't really need? Not really.
So, yeah, not nowadays.
It's tough. It's really tough because, most of these figures are figures you already kind of have, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I already have an R2. I already have a battle droid. I already have clones. And like the two they're coming out with aren't cooler than like Rex or Cody or...
Yeah, right. Not cooler than those.
And it's like, I wouldn't even say they're cooler than the 501st one because you get like the jetpacks and all the Gatling gun and the grenades, right. Like 2 or 3 helmets, The pilot's pretty cool, but again, it's just white. So it's like, right. It's not even that good. So these are uninspired releases, I would say. The C-3PO is the coolest one. And he sucks. You know what I
mean? Damn. Yeah, I get what you mean.
That's just my opinion, guys. I'm sure a lot of people are excited.
I actually really like the battle droid. It's simple, but for 190, man, I'll find one with free shipping or something and snag one of those up. I play a lot of Battlefront too, as you know, Dean. You played with us, so.
Oh yeah.
I like the battle droids. But yeah, man, I'm interested to see what else they come out with. Guys, we'll probably talk more about these figures in another show. But Dean, I want to hit 2 more pieces of news real quick. The Miles Morales Bodega Cat. This is actually a cool and interesting release. I don't think it's going to be for either of us, Dean, but it is going to be one that I think a lot of people are pretty interested in. But we have gotten a lot of different, Miles Moraleses. So for me, I don't know, like, it's just not for me, but I think it's pretty interesting. It's a unique looking figure. I just kind of feel like it's, another Miles Morales or Spider-Man, but, it does have a cat and all that. So that's kind of cool and funny and quirky. But what do you think, Dean? Is this something you would pick up or probably not?
This is a pretty easy pass because now is this just released or is this announced?
It was just released, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I could have sworn they've done this before.
Yeah. Okay. It was just released, yeah. It's from the video game. It's from the standalone video game. It's one of the suit options. They're going to make every Spider-Man they can. So,
yeah. Because I was like, isn't there one with a scarf? Because he has the backpack with the cap.
Yeah, there is one with a scarf. Yeah,
it's the same figure. I'm thinking. It's cool. Not really kind of what I think of when I think of Miles. So it's a pretty easy pass for me. But that being said, it's a solid release. And like you said, they're going to do every suit they can, right? I think they're still coming out with Spider-Man from that game. So, yeah, it's cool. I like it. Just not enough to buy it.
Yeah. And it's funny, Dean, Uncommon Flex had a great comment, and we still haven't gotten into the Spider-Verse Miles. Yeah, dude, I love that film, and I waited so long I canceled that figure. Because, I might end up regretting it, but I canceled that Miles as much as I love the character and love that film, because it's just been so long, and I sold Gwen. So
yeah, it's been so long.
It's been
dude.
so long.
The fucking sequel's gonna come out.
Yeah, the sequel's gonna come out before the figure does.
Yeah, and then they're gonna announce a figure for that one.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
There'll always be another one. Yep.
I didn't like the Hot Toys one because you didn't even get the branded Nikes, which I understand.
The Nikes. Yeah.
But it's like, bro, there's a lot of third-party options out there that it's like you cannot wait this long to release this figure.
Yeah. Because
you're right, lost interest, or I just went and bought one that I could get today or yesterday. You know, I really want to see how that figure turns out, the Hot Toys Miles from the movie, but yeah, it's too far out.
Yeah. And it's a cool looking suit here for sure. I think I'm with you, Dean. Mostly, it's not going to be for me, but for the Spider-Man collectors and the Miles Morales fans, this one is pretty unique, and it's got the lightning effects and the cat. So I think it is be pretty cool. But I think for most, Dean, everything's sitting right now. Everything, even the most popular figures are sitting. Star Wars figures, Marvel, you name it. Hot Toys is making a lot of these things. So I just think with anything nowadays, you can just wait, and if you want this, just pick it up whenever you can at a good price. That goes for any figure really, but he's got roller skates.
Not
it's pretty
the
cool.
Game Toys.
What do you say?
Not the Game Toys.
Not the Game Toys. Yeah, Game Toys you cannot wait.
I can't pick those things up for less. I think they're going for like $6 now.
Yeah, they are. Sephiroth. I saw Sephiroth was on eBay for like $450 or something, but that's about the lowest I've seen. Yeah, I told you, man. You got to get on that Game Toys train,
dude. Okay, I was gonna order from Giant Toy, and they took down their listing. So I was like, okay, I guess.
Which one?
The Game Toys ones when they first came out.
Oh, the Cloud, you mean? Yeah, and Sephiroth.
Yeah, well, they took Sephiroth down completely.
Yeah,
and then Cloud sold out, and I could not find anywhere that hadn't sold out. So that's why I missed it. It's fucking pre-orders.
Well, you got Zach, didn't you get Zach?
I don't think I did. I know I got the VTS Zach.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I have a guy that can get the VTS, and people who shit on that Cloud figure, it's a really solid figure.
It's really tall, though.
The likeness is definitely not as good as Game Toys, but it's good.
Okay. Isn't he really tall, though?
He's way too tall.
Yeah, he's like way too tall.
Dude, he's like as tall as Thanos, bro.
Yeah, he is.
It's like, what the fuck?
So if you put him next to your Game Toys, Dean, he's going to look way out of proportion.
Oh, dude, I'm pretty sure he's bigger than the Sephiroth Game Toys.
Yeah, he probably is, which is crazy because Sephiroth is really tall.
Really? Yeah, I think he's either like 6'2" or 6'5", and Cloud's like 5'6".
Yeah, and his sword is massive, dude. So
hell yeah.
It's crazy, man. But so we talked about the Bodega Catsuit. Dean, we got to hit this NR Gandalf.
Oh, yeah.
Because they
I've been
showed
dogging
this
on it all morning, bro.
Yeah, they showed this, right? And I want to try to zoom in a little bit to get
bro, it looks worse looking at it now.
So you know what's funny, Dean? So remember we talked about, I don't know if you were on this show. I think Zach was on the show, and others, were saying that, with Viper doing the original and stuff, and there's no way this figure is going to be less than 400 to 500, right? It's probably at least, like Zach was saying, like probably around 500. I think if it looks like this and you charge 500, that's a tough ask, because I don't think this looks terrible. It's good, but is it 500 good? You know what I mean? I think the hair looks great, but the sculpt is really not there. I don't see Ian McKellen here really.
Now, yeah, a lot of people were comparing it to Robert De Niro.
He does kind of look like Robert De Niro. It looks off.
I think the hair looks fine.
Yeah, the hair and beard.
The beard looks terrible.
Oh, really?
It looks like I think they just put like glue around his mouth and like rolled it in some hair.
It looked fine to me.
It looks so bad to me. You can't even see his mouth. You just see like some lip and just hair. The hands look great.
They do.
Like
and the sword looks cool.
Yeah, the tailoring looks fine, but I mean, it's like, bro, you could get the outfit really easily now, right? They've released, there's probably like 6 different Gandalfs on the market. So I don't like it. Yeah.
It's funny. John in the house. What's up, John? John said it's the best Gandalf hitting the market, though. That may be true, but that doesn't mean value and only 1 or 2 different things.
I've had the Asmus Crown Series in my hand. Now, I haven't had this in my hand, but I can tell you that price, around $350-400
Yeah.
for the Asmus, I think it's worth it. I think it's a solid figure.
If Queen comes in around that, then I think that'll be fine. If they come around like 350, 400, but I think you start going over 400, 450 and it's tough.
Yeah, this ain't it. This looks pretty bad.
See, I don't know if about pretty bad yet. I think it's good, but it's not as high as I would hope it to be. Like the Joker looks way better.
Exactly. Like the quality I'm expecting, this ain't it. There we go. Talking about expectations again.
Expectations for Vegas.
Because they showed the sculpt pre-paint and it looked great.
Yeah.
But you lose all that detail with this terrible hair job, especially in the beard. I think the tear up top is fine. I think it's styled great. It looks good. If it comes out of the box looking like this, that's great. Because some people, when you get like rooted figures, they're just like matted down and it looks terrible. So if it could come out of the box looking like this, I think that's a solid like one up on everybody else. But the beard just ruins it for me, I think.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, for me, it's more so the face. Like, I don't think it's a 0 by any stretch. Like, I think it's good. No. I think it's like a 7 sculpt, but I don't see Ian McKellen the way I would expect from a Queen piece and, from the price you'd be paying.
Yeah. I would put it on par with the Asmus one. And I know a lot of people like shit on Asmus, like, which I guess is fine. Their likeness usually isn't the best, but their Gandalf is pretty good. But
it was just the eyes.
I just had way higher hopes for this. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's
it's not terrible, but I feel like maybe the face is too long or something. Like there's something off that, like maybe a 15%, offness, a 15% discrepancy between the actor and the figure. So in the likeness. So I don't know. I think it's, it's definitely exciting to be getting this stuff, and I do support it for sure, but I think it can be improved. And I think hopefully Queen gets some feedback like this and they will take that into consideration, but not terrible, but just not, this isn't, it's funny. We always thought that this would be the Asmus killer and the Queen and even the Hot Toys killer, but I don't love the Asmus figure. I think the eyes they're kind of like sunken in or something. I don't know, too like gray or something, but this one, I think this is better than Asmus, but I don't know if it's enough better that I was hoping for,
Yeah, I wanted it to be 10 times better.
Right.
With especially how good that Joker looks. And again, we've only ever seen prototypes.
Right. We don't know.
We don't know. There's usually a loss of quality from master sculpt to, what they cast. So, I don't know. Maybe they improve it on the release. I don't, that remains to be seen. But the Joker looks amazing. So my expectations for this were pretty high because I really want a Gandalf in my collection, and I think with the release of this coming down the pipeline, the prices will go down on the stuff that's already out. So if this is what I can expect from Queen, bro, I'll save myself $300-400 and just buy an Asmus one. You know what I mean? If they're going to be charging $500-600 for a rooted sculpt,
Yeah. So, yeah, I get what you mean, man. So we'll have to see. It'll be exciting. I'm excited to see what Queen Studios comes up with, though, because I love their products and do think they do an amazing job for the community.
I want it to be better. I want to be proven wrong,
Right. That Joker, man, it better come out like the proto, though, because we were going to be disappointed otherwise.
If it doesn't and people were paying $1,000, bro.
Right.
On the cheap ends, some people have to go through resellers and
Yeah. So I guess we'll find out.
Be devastating.
Dean, I got some philosophy to hit you with here.
Yeah.
So, like, this is a topic I've thought about recently in terms of like, a successful purchase, right? I think there's always a very interesting conversation to be had when you talk about like, how long do you have to have a figure for it to be considered a successful purchase, right? Because I've definitely had figures that I've had for like a month, 2 months, and then sold it. That would probably be when I would consider an unsuccessful purchase because I probably lost money at that point because it probably didn't sell out. It probably didn't sell out in that amount of time. So I had to take a hit on it. So how long do you have to have something for it to be considered successful? Like you feel like, oh, that was a good purchase. I made a good decision there.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
It is, isn't it? Or maybe it's as simple as if you lost money, it's unsuccessful. If you broke even or made money, it was successful. But for me, it's more time. I feel like, did I get to enjoy it for a year, or and then sold it? Because I would say some of the ones recently have been unsuccessful for me, like Spider-Gwen and ones I've sold. Lando.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, if your goal is to make money, because some people, use their collection to fund their collection, right? So maybe you have a figure for a month, but you make $100 on it. That could be successful too. Or you could have a figure for 5 years, sell it, and lose money. Is that really unsuccessful? Well, you enjoyed it for 5 years. So I don't know. I think it could go either way. For me, I really don't sell stuff that often. The most recent thing I sold was my Force Awakens Hot Toys. I've had those since the movies came out, and I took a big old hit on those. I was like, just get them the fuck out of my sight. I did keep Kylo though. I like his character design.
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah.
The Force Awakens version?
Yeah, but I bought the tunic and the cloak so I could have both looks.
Oh, okay, cool.
For Force Awakens and Last Jedi. That's tough.
It is tough, isn't it?
Yeah. So for someone who doesn't sell, I consider every purchase successful because it's something I really wanted, and I was really bad about that. Like when the Force Awakens was coming out, I was buying everything Star Wars, fucking Hot Wheels and pretty much anything that had Star Wars on it. I was buying it, and then eventually I was like, I don't really want this stuff though. I think I'm getting it because of the hype,
Yeah.
and the potential of oh, maybe one day I could sell this, So I stopped doing that, and I really started focusing on what do I really want. And so far I've been pretty good. So yeah. So for me, every purchase I think is successful thereafter.
Nice.
But
that makes sense, man. For me, it's a tricky one because I feel like there are ones that I do have for a long period of time. If I had it for, like you said, if I had it for a couple years and I sold it and ended up taking a loss, I would still consider that successful because, I still had it for a couple years. I got to enjoy it. Everything was still good with it. I got to have it in my collection and display it and have other people enjoy it too. So I would consider that a successful purchase. But if you had a figure for a couple months or, when you decided, hey, I kind of either bought this maybe on FOMO or maybe my collection was in a different stage at that point. I was trying to build a different type of display. I don't know. I would probably consider that for myself unsuccessful because I didn't have it long term. I didn't have it for at least a year or more where I really got to enjoy it and make it worth the $300 you spent on it. Right. So for me, that's about what I would say. If I end up losing money on it, not the end of the world. Sometimes you take really big hits. So, I mean, it's just, like you said, with Force Awakens figures or some others that are similar to that, nowadays with Marvel figures, that's happening. So, if you bought them for retail, then you're probably going to take a hit on that. So, the only way not to is wait till it sells out.
Yeah, you kind of got, well, I mean, it's kind of hard for Marvel movies because they come out so frequently.
Right.
That you got to wait for the hype to come back up. I need a Star-Lord, right? Or I need a Doctor Strange. I mean, now there's enough Doctor Strange on the market that they're a dime a dozen.
Right.
But yeah, I feel with Star Wars, Star Wars has recently been keeping its value, almost annoyingly so. You're fuck, I wanted to get that used, and I might as well have just bought it brand new.
Marvel did that for a while. Before
for a while, yeah, a long
Marvel
time.
was like that, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you could only get even when the V2 Star-Lord was coming out, the V1 was a $500 figure.
Yeah.
And then I would say sometime after Infinity War, the prices started coming down. I bought not that he's an expensive figure to begin with, but I got the Rocket from Endgame for got something $140 shipped or something.
Yeah. I just sold mine for $125. So
Yeah, yeah. So I would say like kind of try and practice like when you sell, like wait for the hype to come back. Like usually it's when a movie's out or a show just came out, but it's so hard now because there's so much content all the time that it's like everyone's hype has been steadied.
Right.
It's like, oh, Boba Fett just came out, but we got Obi-Wan in a couple months, and then Doctor Strange just came out, and in a couple months we got Thor. So it's like, fuck,
Yep.
like there's almost no lull now because it's just
No.
so steady.
It's no roller coaster ride. It's just literally a straight shot.
Yeah.
It's like riding the metro at this point. Just a straight shot, dude.
But I will say, I ended up. It was a long time ago. I got the General Grievous from Sideshow, back when that one was real expensive.
Oh.
I got it. My buddy had one. He was like, "Oh, so let's see for like $150." I was like, "Deal," because it was like 400 or 500. So I bought it, and then Zach really wanted it, and he traded me a Mark VI Iron Man diecast, which at the time was you could still buy it. Well, that ended up selling out, and that Mark VI was real. I think it's still really expensive.
Yeah, it is.
And another buddy of mine was like, "Bro, I need the Mark VI. I only need 2 more Iron Man to complete my Hall of Armor." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I really like the Mark VI." I was like, "The only one I would consider trading it is the Mark 46." And he's like, "No, I can't let go of my Mark 46."
Oh, Dean, you froze again, dude. Your StreamYard.
It's like, "I'll give you 2 iron." Am I back?
You're back. You're back.
Okay.
Yeah, you were freezing for a second there, but you're back.
Okay. I don't know why my StreamYard does this. I have like my internet is fine, but
everything's bigger in Texas, dude.
He's like, "I'll give you yeah. I'll give you the Mark 43 and the Mark 45 for the Mark 6." And I was like, "All right, fuck it. Let's do it." So I made the trade. Worst trade. I regret that like every single day.
Really?
Ended up selling the 43. I got pretty good money for it. I think I got like 300 something bucks for it. And then the Mark 45, I did an even trade for the Mark 7. Because the Mark 45 is cool, but it doesn't do anything. You see it for a couple minutes when they fight Ultron, and then that's it. So it's like, at least the Mark 7 is like more iconic, right? Avengers 1.
Yeah,
takes
super
on
iconic.
Loki. Really good. I would still consider that an unsuccessful purchase. And I still have the Mark 7, but it's like way too tall. It does come with a lot of stuff, which is cool, but it's just not my favorite suit. And I think you could still buy it right now. Like they made like way too many. So like I couldn't even resell it if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Not without taking a real big hit. But I mean, I guess I technically only paid $150 for it since it was all trades. And I made 300 something bucks off of one of them. So
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, that one still bugs me. Every time I have it on my desk, I'm like, fucking hate you. And I really don't, but it just left a sour taste in my mouth.
I want to follow up with something too, because we're kind of on that topic already a little bit. Like, I think this is always a discussion too, like how critical we should be. Maybe like we're expecting too much, or we are expecting too little. We're not holding Hot Toys to a high enough standard. So Dean, I think this question comes up a lot. For me, I don't know. I think we should be pretty critical, as long as we're being fair. Like, I think that's the biggest question, because like we're paying a pretty good amount of money for these figures. Especially like you said, the Queen Studios 2-pack Joker, and presumably this Gandalf, and all the statues in Prime 1 and stuff, and the Joker and that kind of stuff. It's all very expensive stuff, especially if you talk to a non-collector. If you told them what you were spending on some of this stuff, they would be like, what the world? Like, they thought it looked cool until you told them it was $1,200, and then they were like, I don't think it's that cool anymore. So you know what I mean? So that's kind of stuff. So I do think we should be pretty critical, as long as we're being fair and realistic about what we're expecting, because sometimes there is a decline from proto to production. But I guess it always depends on how much of the decline and what's acceptable to us. To me, I would say like 5 to 10% usually. That's usually where I kind of draw the line. So I think being critical is good because it does hold companies to a high standard as long as we're not being unfair and sort of ridiculous and entitled. What do you think, Dean?
Yeah, I think we had a really good discussion the other day when Leal was on the channel talking about the C-3PO.
Yeah.
And people being entitled.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm the one spending the money.
Right.
Especially at a time where people don't have jobs. Gas is $5 a gallon.
Right.
Money is not, what's the word? It's not very liquid right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, if I'm taking money out of my account to give to you for a product, it better be what I want. Like the thing with the Iron Man, and they switched up the head sculpt last second without saying anything and just thought, oh, they'll just go for it. And we didn't. I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. Like, yo, this is not what you fucking sold me, and I'm not buying it. Take your money back. You give me back my NRD, or you fix it. And they fixed it for the most part. I think some people still got screwed. But with things like the C-3PO, now I'm not on the message boards like, yelling like, this is stupid, I don't want this, I'm just not going to buy it, right? I know that eventually they should, I guess I don't know for sure, that they're going to make a C-3PO that I do want. But by not buying it, I feel like that's enough to show them that that's not the C-3PO I want. They know we want one. People have been asking for it in like every chat ever.
Right.
So, yeah, I think being critical when it counts and respectfully, right? You don't need to every time, and I bet you'll be like, oh yeah, I see that too. Every time Hot Toys releases like a figure, somebody in the comments, where's the Mark 46?
Yeah, they always say reissue Mark 46 every time, dude.
Yeah,
it's always hilarious though.
Yeah, and I love it, honestly, because I want the 46 too. But yeah, I think being vocal about what you want and what you expect for your money, it's not a bad thing. I think there's people who do it badly and they go about it the wrong way. But you should absolutely be critical because you're right. It holds them to a higher standard, whoever it is, right? Whatever company, and it drives competition up. Would Queen Studios be making this Gandalf if people didn't give Asmus a bunch of shit? Probably not. But it's like, hey, there's a market for people that want a good Lord of the Rings figure. Let's fucking do it. So I think, letting them know like, yo, this ain't it. Whatever this is, you need to fix this, and this, and I'll give you the $500.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think it's the same way why they're making Game of Thrones too. Yeah, same reason.
Oh, are they like for sure? I thought that was just a guess.
I think so. Bro. I think Optical had said that John mentioned that they are going to do it. So, I actually sold. I only have 2 Game of Thrones 3.0 left. I have the Jon Snow Night's Watch, but I have the custom head sculpt, and I have the Jaime Lannister because I really like those.
Bro, did you get Tormund?
No, but I heard it's great. Yeah,
bro, that figure is amazing.
Yeah,
I pretty much
hits some home runs from time to time.
Dude, the last ones they made, Tormund, Jaime, and Brienne are all bangers.
Yeah, Jaime's a banger. Yeah,
I did get the Arya. The likeness isn't there, but it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna go replace it with a $600 version. Right. But a Jon Snow, that would be tempting.
Yeah, I'm getting the Prime 1 statue so for me, I'll probably pass on the John.
On the throne?
Yeah, on the throne. Yeah.
Dang, Mario has the Daenerys.
Daenerys, yeah, and I might get the Night King. I'll see. I'm thinking about the Night King. Yeah, but that's something that's going to be tempting. But Dean, like especially ones like that too. Like I think maybe I'm starting to get to that point with J&D too, where like I don't have a J&D, but if I was paying that type of money for something, I'd expect pretty much perfection. Yeah, I expect like if not 100%. Perfection, it's 95% there. Like it's because if you're paying $2,700 out the door, that's a lot of change to drop. That's so like that Legolas I'm getting. That Legolas I'm getting the half scale Infinity Studios right now. The prototype is a banger, like you said. It looks perfect. But if it comes out not looking that good, I'm going to be disappointed or maybe cancel it because I'm dropping $2,700 on that. Like I feel like I have a, I don't want to be entitled, but you want to be critical of that type of stuff because that's a lot of money. So you want to make sure you're getting something that's worth it,
Yeah. And I think as collectors, we're obligated to each other, right? Because it's like, yo, my buddy Will's dropping $2,700 on this, and he's pissed that this looks like shit. So you guys better fix it, because my buddy Will's gonna get what he wants, right?
One way or another.
And especially us with the channel, we have people like John in the chat from Queen Studios, and people from Sideshow that jump in the chats, and and maybe they don't say anything. Maybe they're just silently watching and seeing what we're saying, but they're listening. 100%. They're also on the Facebook groups. It's really important that you're critical. Again, don't be a dickhead about it. But
right.
I think it's one of the more important things we could do as collectors. Because again, it's our money. And if you're not happy, I mean, just think about like going to a restaurant. You order a steak and they bring you out a salad. Like, what the? This is not what I asked for. I'm not paying for this. Get it?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like, yo, you sold me, and I always go back to that Iron Man head situation because it was so underhanded. It was like, yo, did you really expect us to? Like, you sold us one thing, and you're giving us something completely different. It's not like the sculpt had just lost, some likeness. It was a completely different sculpt. It's like,
right.
Yo, if you had shown me this when the order went up, I wouldn't have bought it. Like, yo, this is wrong, and you need to fix it. So,
yeah, I get what you mean. I'm with you, Dean. Dean, I want to ask you something else too. Since we're on that, I had a topic, a question that I want to throw in there. Should we care about head sculpts on armored characters? Because I feel like you're paying for it. But, with some of us, like, we're like, okay, like, it's an Iron Man figure. I'm probably not going to use the head sculpt anyway. But at the same time, you are paying for it. So it's like, I feel like we should care. But then sometimes I'm like, yeah, but am I not going to use it? So I kind of just want the Iron Man. But do you think overall, Dean, we should? I feel like we should, but I don't know if we always do.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on the character, right? Like Iron Man, for sure, right? You want an RDJ. Or someone like Bo-Katan, right?
Yeah.
Like, someone is like a very unique head sculpt. Now, we're not getting one with Casca Reeves. Oh, no, we are getting one with Casca Reeves.
She has one. Axe Wolves, yeah.
Axe Wolves, thank you. I was like, I know it was someone.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's really not that important. He takes his helmet off for like a scene. And then he usually has it on. I think he's on one episode.
Right.
Or someone like, now the two that they've released, Rex and Cody, it's the same head sculpt, just different hair. So if like a generic clone doesn't come with a Tamara Morrison's head sculpt, I'm not really gonna care. This one is a little, I'd almost rather not get it.
Yeah.
But if I'm paying for it, I guess, But it's also kind of like those stupid lightning effects that come in everything.
Yeah.
I'm never using these things, and if they weren't in the box, I wouldn't care. It's like, yo, if you want to charge me less for no head sculpt or stupid lightning effects, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think some characters, it doesn't matter to me anyway.
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess the reverse would be like Star-Lord.
Right.
I'd rather have Chris Pratt's head on it.
Yeah, that's like a very interesting figure. Yeah.
But someone like, again, like a Commander Rex or Commander Cody, I'm putting that fucking bucket on,
Right.
No, I see the appeal with, have them holding the helmet, sure. But I mean, on my shelf, 9 times out of 10, they're wearing the helmet.
Yeah.
What about you?
Dude, I think you're right. I rarely, if I have a helmeted character, I rarely do not have them helmeted. It's pretty Pretty rare. The only one, because it obviously makes so much sense, is Iron Man Battle Damage 85. That clearly, he's doing the snap pose. That's the most iconic look for that character in that outfit. So that one makes sense. But it sometimes pains me to keep the head in the box. Like Killmonger, for example. I really love the Killmonger figure, but I do have the helmet on him. As much as I love that head sculpt, it's great. I put it on there sometimes to swap in and out, but more often than not, I'm using the helmet. I'm more of a helmeted character guy. So it matters to me, maybe not as much, but it's not. I'm looking at the gifts on the side of the picture.
Yeah,
I know people were very upset at the time, but I do say that it does matter, Dean. But in terms of like practical use, more often than not, I think I'm probably using helmets. I think most people are too. But we should care because you are paying for it. So I do think we should care. But it's like, in practice, how often am I going to use it? Probably not that much, but it's almost like we want the option. We want the option because I am paying for it. So I do want the option to be able to use it. And if I saw this head sculpt, I don't have the option of using this.
yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, I think a good example would be like Spider-Man.
Right.
Tom Holland. I'm never using the Tom Holland sculpt. I'm going to use Spider-Man. Yeah, it's like, that's a good one. So
yeah, but it's a great option. Those are great sculpts. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic sculpts.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this, it'd be like, can I just buy one that doesn't have the head sculpt? Maybe it's
exactly.
Like
Can I buy one cheaper that doesn't have this
$30 less?
Creepy head sculpt?
Because I mean, like we just saw with those clone troopers, considerably cheaper without a head sculpt.
Yeah.
And you get 2 helmets, phase 1 and phase 2. And they're, what were they, 230? 235?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So the same figure with a sculpt, 285, 315. It's like, bro.
Yeah.
I'd almost not have a head sculpt at all. Like, yeah, they're not cheap. And, rightfully so, because the artists charge a lot of money for those sculpts.
Yeah.
So they really are making up that price, when they put in the box. So,
yeah,
I mean, I guess like you said, if I'm paying for it, it might as well be there. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'm never using it.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm mostly with you. So, Dean, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
this comes into play when like really collecting multiple versions of the same character. Do you feel like you need a figure and a statue of the same character? It's like for me, for the most important of characters, I do say yes. I do say if it's Loki or it's Kylo or it's Cloud or Sephiroth, I'd probably still keep the Game Toys versions and get, say Prime 1 announces Final Fantasy 7 statues. I'm probably still keeping Game Toys, but I'm also damn sure getting those, right? So it depends on the character for me. I think it's very dependent on who the character is, and I have to truly, truly love that character because otherwise I'm going to stick with just the one. Like I at one point had the Bane Hot Toys, Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. I ended up getting the Prime 1, so I was like, I'm going to sell the Hot Toys. So that's what I did. And I love Bane, but I don't feel like I need both. So Dean, how do you approach this? Is this only for the most special of figures to you that you do this?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it depends on the character. Like I have my Boba Fett right here.
Yeah, I used to have that statue.
It's a great statue.
I just sold it to a friend, but yeah.
How dare you?
Dude, he needed one, and he gave me a good, I gave him a good deal. So, but
nice.
I still haven't delivered it to him. I got it. He just paid me like the last payment. So, but it's boxed up. But he just paid me. He paid me overall like a month. So, like it took like a month and a half. So, like he just
take a month and a half to ship it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I can just drive it to him. So that's the good part. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Boba Fett's a very important character to me. So that's why I bought it. I was like, if I'm gonna get a statue, it's gotta be Boba Fett. Especially because like you said, there's not really any Final Fantasy ones out that are like by like a real studio.
Right.
Or that are even out. They're all just like pre-renders right now. And it's like, like there's a lot of Tifas though, but they're all, like we said, real horny. But yeah, I think
yeah, they are.
I think it just depends on how you feel about a particular character. Because like with Cloud, I'll usually buy anything that any figure, statue, whatever, standy acrylic thing. But like with Sephiroth, I could do without, Like I told you, like, yo, I need the Cloud game toys. I could do without the Sephiroth.
I don't know how you do that, man. I love Sephiroth.
Sephiroth is cool, but Cloud is just that much cooler.
He is cool, but
and then I got my 2B. I just really like that character.
Yeah.
And I did do I have a 6-scale figure of her, but I thought a statue would look really cool. So, yeah, I could see the appeal of getting one of both, but it's like, do I need both?
Right. Especially when they're expensive, like this Loki. That's why I brought him up, not just because I love the character, but this is $1,100 for the statue for a quarter scale.
That's not an insignificant amount of money.
No, it's not at all. And like, I'm still going to get the Hot Toys Endgame version because I love that. And that's actually a little bit similar outfit, but a little bit different. It's same film, but it's the King Loki version where this is more so like Warrior Loki. And, or casual Conqueror Loki. So, but this is like something I couldn't pass on, but I wouldn't do this for every character. Like, if Cloud and Sephiroth, I probably would, but like I said, for, Gamora or I even look at him right now, Jack Sparrow, for example. If like Prime One announced a Jack Sparrow, I'd probably just keep my Hot Toys. Like I'd probably just, I don't feel like I would need the double dip. But for Last of Us, Joel and Ellie, yeah, I'll probably double dip there. But it's only for the most exclusive of characters in my collection. Do you pretty much agree with that, Dean?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so Boba Fett, Cloud, whatever, But yeah, it's an interesting topic. Dean, I got one more for you, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
What does curating mean to you, bro? What does it mean to like really find your niche in your collection, whittle it down to the most essential of things, get it to the point where you're happy and love every single thing that you have? Like, what does curating mean to you? How do you do it?
Yeah, so perfect example. My shelves right behind me. This is Robotech or Macross.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could go out and buy every Macross thing there is, right? There's tons of jets. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of mechs. That was like the first, well, not the first, it was like one of the first mech shows. But my favorite character is Rick Hunter or Hikaru, depending on which version you watch. So my collection is pretty much just Rick Hunter stuff and the jets that he flies. Mm-hmm. So, instead of 10 different jets, he flies maybe like 4 different versions. So I get those 4. Or like the Final Fantasy VII stuff. Cloud's my favorite. So I might have like one version of Tifa and Aerith and stuff, but I'll have like 10 versions of Cloud. So curating is honing the collection on just the really important stuff. Because like I said, I could go buy all the Macross stuff in the world if I had all the money. But I don't. So I really got to curate my Rick Hunter stuff based on, the Robotech. Oh, God, this figure looks so good, dude.
Doesn't it?
I'm so glad I pre-ordered it, bro.
What'd you say?
I said I'm so glad I pre-ordered it. I got the one on the bike. Did you get Fenrir?
By the way, Zach's here. Dean, tell him about Robert De Niro.
Oh, we talked about it, Zach.
Oh, we talked about the Gandalf. Is that what he's referring to?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you get the one with Fenrir?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
Did you too?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm getting so I haven't got it yet, but I'm the Cloud original game version I'm going to have coming eventually, and then this Advent Children version I'm getting too, both with the bike. So
yeah,
I'm excited for both.
Now, I don't know if you remember the original bike from the game Final Fantasy VII.
Like the original Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, the Hardy Daytona. It has the same name, but the original look for the bike.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that one. Yeah,
way cooler. I don't know if you could look it up right now.
Really?
That was such a. I'm insulted they changed the design of the bike.
You're insulted. I thought it looked pretty cool in the game, though.
So I didn't bother with the PlayArts Kai or this. Obviously, I didn't get the Game Toys one, but the bike to me is just not very cool.
Yeah.
But Fenrir for this movie, is almost like a whole other character.
I like that.
Down there to the left. No, that's the remake. I'm talking
like
about.
It's kind of like that. That's the Play Arts Kai, right?
Yeah. But Catty Corner down one more.
I don't know if there's.
That's the statue of the original one.
Yeah. Oh, I see. That's kind of pretty close though. That's the original Cloud. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's the original Hardy Daytona. Dude, that thing is so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fenrir is a whole character on its own in the movie. It's very important. You know, Cloud, I think you only see him without it like twice. Kind of like in the middle of the movie, and then at the end when he's fighting Sephiroth, he's not on the bike. But pretty much every other scene, the bike is in it. So it's like, bro, I have to have Fenrir. Like, but anyway, yeah, curating. I guess. What about you? How do you?
I'm the same way. I feel like, you know what I do, Dean? I always had the rule that I tell people too. Like, if you walk past your collection and be like, yeah, I do have that. I forgot. Like, you need to sell that thing. Because that's the way I've approached it, you know, because you're like, oh shit, that is pretty cool. I do have that. Sometimes you can repose it and then you can find a new passion for it, but it doesn't always work. So usually if you forgot you had it, it means you can live without it in your collection. And, you know, I've really noticed recently with the purge that I've been on, like what I can live without. You know, there are like I said, the Spider-Gwens and the Gamoras and the Wasps with the figures I really like, but it's like, do I need them?
But you have a Shatari right over your shoulder.
Dude, because I got those for like $100. Because you know why? Because I know that if I sell those, I'm not going to get much. I think I bought them from Pop Culture, like both of them for like $130. There was two.
Wow.
So two for like $130. Yeah. So, and I'm actually going to take them out of this cabinet and put them around somewhere else as sort of display pieces, like elsewhere. So, but now I get what you mean. I have a first order Stormtrooper too, because I got it for like $130. So, you know, and I sell it now, then, and I kind of need a Stormtrooper. So I need just one. So I'm just going to keep that one. But I know that's the worst one to a lot of people, but you know, it was the cheapest one. So this is the one I went with. But Zach did tell me, damn, Will kind of rocking the F out of that sweater. Dude, thanks so much, man. It's more like a
baseball tee.
Yeah, it's a baseball tee, but I'll take it. Zach, dude, I love Zach. So curating to me though, Dean, I think it means really figuring what you can live without. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. Like you know, that's how I approach it, and figuring out what you can't live without at the same time. Yeah. So, and that takes a lot of reflection. I feel like you have to really sit down and be like, yeah, like, and I still do it. Like I even now things I look at and I'm like, I should probably, like the Mark 50 behind me, like that I might end up selling because I have the Mark 7, the Battle Damage 85, and I'm probably going to get the Mark 5. So I have it on pre-order. So things like that, you know, and that you could.
Do you have the Mark 5 or the suit up version?
Mark 5 regular, yeah. But I thought about getting the suit up. I don't know because I think it would stand out a little bit more. Considering I have 3 Iron Men.
More intriguing to the eye.
Right. Even though it's not die cast.
You can't do anything with it. You can't pose it.
Right. Just a little bit. By the way, Mr. Pew Pew, thanks so much. I'm digging the beard. Thanks so much, man. It's a little itchy, but not too bad, Dean. So
yeah, you got to get past that phase.
Yeah, I know. I got to get to your point, dude. But yeah, that's what it means to me, Dean. Just consolidating and like taking a long, hard look at, you know, what you can live without and what you can't.
You got to take this, Will.
What is that? Hair, skin, nails, vitamins?
Yeah, it's biotin.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Bro, I could always grow long hair, but not this long. But I can never grow facial hair.
Really?
I was like 29 and I couldn't grow facial hair.
Wow.
And I started taking biotin.
Yeah.
My hair shot out of my face, my head, and my beard came in. Or nice. I have a goatee. I don't really have a beard.
You got the goatee going on.
Yeah. And now when I see pictures of myself without this, I'm like, ugh. How did I go through my whole life without having facial hair? So yeah, biotin is amazing if you want to grow those.
Yeah, I'll have to give that a shot. MB Dyson said, I have to curate my YouTube description. I'm not sure to make the cut, Will. It's because of Doctor Strange, isn't it? It's because of Doctor Strange. And Riley said he's got the peach fuzz. Oh, there you go. There you go, Riley. Riley's following in my footsteps.
Yeah, these are gummies. I was taking the oil pill.
Dude, I don't like taking pills. I don't know how you feel about that. I like gummies because I don't like swallowing pills.
Yeah, well, they tasted terrible. The gummies are really good.
Yeah, the gummies, you could eat like a whole thing of them and you'd be like, well, I have way more protein than I needed today, more vitamin C than I needed. But Dean, thanks so much for joining me, man. What's coming up on Collecting Weekly? I know you all got some shit happening.
Oh, man. So tonight we got Collectors Club with John. He's going to give me a ton of shit about this.
Yeah, he was in the chat. He was wilding out in the chat.
So that's tonight. I believe at 10 or 10:30. Tomorrow, I don't think we're doing anything tomorrow. I think we had Pose Wars, but it got postponed until next month.
Mario's talking to you, by the way.
Bro, never, bro. I got way more hair taking it. There's no way it's falling out.
Nah.
Sunday we're off, and then Monday we're gonna do an unboxing. I don't know what we're unboxing. I don't know if Sean's still here. And then Tuesday our main show, and Wednesday we do After Dark. I think we're doing a ladies stream on Wednesday.
Really?
So all the significant others of the hosts are gonna get on.
That's crazy, dude.
None of us will be there. So
that sounds fun.
Yeah, the chat seemed to want it, and we were like, okay, we'll get it going. And then Thursday we're doing, I believe it's small talk. Where they talk about smaller scale figures, Black Series, the 3 3/4. There's a ton of toy news coming out, especially with May 4th just happening.
Yep.
And then back to where we're at now, Friday. So we usually got content every day. So
yeah, you guys are pumping out some seriously awesome and sweet content over there. So
yeah, you got to come on the show, man.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. And yeah,
I think we just streamed too late for you.
I know, man. You guys are wild out there on the West Coast. So, and you, Dean, I don't know how you do it, man, being in Texas like that. So
yeah.
But we got some really good feedback, Dean, though, from the chat. Before we go and I wrap this up. Dog Pound said, take care. Dean's Dream was very entertaining, bros. Dean's always dropping knowledge, seriously. And only 2 enables, shiny. My money survives to be spent another day. Let's see. Riley said, great show watching this sweet live stream. Let's see. Riley's working while watching. Ebu127, great discussion and vitamin recommendations. Yeah. Dean has great vitamin recommendations. Dean has rooted hair. Will has interchangeable styles with variants. Hell yeah. Good discussions as always, guys. Peace. Thanks so much for joining, Riley. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Lights, Camera, Collect. We'll be back next Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Collectors Mingle is this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, per usual. Usual time, usual place. And yeah, still working on channel membership, so be on the lookout for that. It's probably, like I said, going to be a simple $1.99 thing, just some extra live streams here and there. I don't really want to add too much to my workload, you know what I mean? Because I got so much other stuff going on outside of YouTube. So I want to give you guys something fun for the people who do want to support it. But we'll forget. Let me know what you guys want to see. So, but Dean, all I can say, man, is thanks so much for joining, and to everyone else out there in the chat, thanks so much for the support. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Sounds good. Peace out. Bye. Have a good weekend.